Good morning, all. We want to send out a quick follow-up video to our last video. We want to talk about immune system function some more in detail. There's three main things that the immune system needs to function on an everyday basis. So the first one of those is calcium, which is one that you might not be aware of. The next one is whole food C. The other is vitamin D. We'll talk about those latter two. For now, I want to focus on calcium. Calcium is implicated in immune system function among many other things in the body, but its role is really in turning on the immune system, and that starts with fever. Fever's been a hot topic during this coronavirus pandemic. They're taking people's temperatures all over the place as an initial sign as to whether or not they may have this problem. So I'm going to read you a quick excerpt out of Mosby's textbook of physiology that states, during fevers, infection, and acute inflammation, in order for white blood cells to function efficiently, ionized calcium must be abundantly available. When the blood ionized calcium falls below 50% of normal, febrile seizures are experienced. So what happens is once a pathogen has breached our envelope and we have not been able to excrete it, the body mounts an immune response, first starting with elevated temperature, which liberates calcium from our soft tissues into the blood. Once that calcium reaches a certain concentration in the blood, that's what triggers our white blood cells to go fight. So in terms of sources of calcium, we use calcium lactate, which is the type of calcium that's found in all mammals' breast milk, which means that it's very utilizable. It doesn't take hardly any conversion or steps to become calcium bicarbonate in the blood, unlike calcium carbonate, which is the most abundant form of calcium that you'll find in grocery stores and health food stores. It's much, much cheaper, but that takes 14 steps to break down and become calcium bicarbonate in the blood. So the source of calcium is very important. Calcium lactate takes one step. It also needs an acidic medium to be absorbed. So we want to make sure that our gut health is where it needs to be. I typically take my supplements in the morning with raw unfiltered apple cider vinegar, and it's that acidic medium that ensures that calcium and all of our minerals are going to be absorbed from the gut effectively. If we are hypochlorhydric, we don't have enough acid in our stomach, we can't get to the minerals, including calcium, that we need. Calcium also needs to be coupled with magnesium. Again, that goes back to a pH issue. So we've had patients in the office even recently that have used calcium lactate, and they'll come in and say, hey, I was taking yours and this one now doesn't work. Why? And we look at it, and the pH, because of the lack of magnesium, is not where it needs to be. So you need to have all those pieces in place for calcium to work. So to further outline the role of calcium in immune system function, I want to share a couple of studies with you guys. This one was done at the Kellogg Eye Center. Research's high-speed images show how cells mobilize for immune response. It's titled, How Do Cells Signal and Attack Foreign Matter? This was done in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Through images of phagocytosis, the process by which a cell engulfs and then destroys its target, Petty is able to track the movement of calcium waves as they send signals to key players in the immune response. The calcium wave is a stream of calcium ions coming into the cell, which is detected by fluorescence emission of calcium sensing dye. As a cell membrane begins to surround its target, two calcium waves begin to circulate. When the target is completely surrounded, one wave traveling around the cell's perimeter splits into two, with the second wave encircling the phagosome or sac-like compartment. This second wave allows the digestive enzymes to enter the phagosome and finally destroy the target. A study from the Department of Medicine, University of Washington, in the American Journal of Kidney Disease, titled Hypocalcemia, a pervasive metabolic abnormality in the critically ill. We conclude that hypocalcemia is extremely common in hospitalized patients, up to 88%, and correlates with the severity of illness, but not with the specific illness per se. The American Journal of Medicine. A high proportion of patients, 62 of 88 or 70%, were found to have decreased levels of both total and ionized calcium. There was a strong association between sepsis and hypocalcemia. The mortality of the hypocalcemic patients, 44%, was significantly greater than the mortality of the normal calcemic patients, 17%. These findings suggest that hypocalcemia is a very common abnormality in acutely ill patients and is associated with a poor prognosis. One last one, hypocalcemia in critically ill children. Department of Pediatrics, Harvard Medical School. We conclude the following. Ionized hypocalcemia is common in severely ill children. Patients with ionized hypocalcemia have a higher mortality rate than those with normal calcemia. So there's many more studies out there that outline the role of calcium in immune system function. This is one of the first things that we reach for when anyone in our family has a sniffle, a sneeze, a sore throat, whatever the case may be. We try to initiate this protocol as soon as possible to allow our immune system to function as quickly and effectively as possible. So again, calcium lactate is the preferred variety. The source that we use from Standard Process is actually not from a dairy source, it's a vegetable source. So people that have sensitivities or allergies to dairy products can use this type of calcium. Really, really important that you get enough of this. This is the initial step that turns on the immune system. Have a great day.